Hey everyone, just wanted to quickly make this video to address the comment that's made in the horse system chat around the first day that this member has started following. It started off here and basically said, "What a day, wicked, first full Saturday, up $500." Now, first up, man, I don't know your name. Obviously got a 031568 username. This is not personal, and I thank everyone in here for trying to help this member, who's obviously new, to understand the agenda that we push here, which is 12 months. No days, no weeks, no months. That was deleted from our community over a year and a half ago now, and the reason for that was to delete the highs and lows, the ups and downs of the emotions of celebrating short-term timelines with investing. And the reason why most gamblers lose is because of this. Now, I know you've come from a losing background, gambling background. That shit need to be cut out now. And obviously, you're here, and that's what you're here for. This guy here. So, once again, when people pull this stuff up in the chat, it's not because they want to rinse you or they want to make you feel bad or they want you to be less than them. It's just that because some of these people have been here for so long and they've seen so many people with the wrong mindset get filtered out of the community, they want to help you. And I know it's fucking confronting for people to come in and say, "Hey bro, don't say that. Don't celebrate the day. Don't celebrate this." But one thing that I want you to understand is that they know that because they have potentially gone down that pathway of having that old short-term mindset to now transitioning to that long-term mindset that we teach you, it is life-changing. It is making you now bulletproof in the head because you can understand how this thing works. This thing doesn't work on outcomes. It works on process. The things and the actions that you do, the repetitions that you put in will get you results later. You don't get really good at match betting from focusing on a short-term amount of time. There's so many other services out there that do this, and it's just so bad. And we used to do this when we first started, and we realized that it was just creating the wrong mindset in our members. So we changed this at the start of 2024, and it's been a fucking game changer. Whenever somebody comes in and says, "Hey, what a day," or like, we don't look at days. There are no such thing anymore. The timeline on your graph, on your brain needs to delete. It needs to be like 12 months. This is what was explained in the first video of the horse system. The point is, on that first agenda video, the first video that you watch when you jump into the horse system, it talks me on the whiteboard talking about the agenda and a few rules that we want to set. The first rule is a minimum of 12 months. The second rule is a 100 unit bankroll, and there's a 100 unit rule. Essentially, it goes into more depth later on in the last video. It explains how the horse system can't mathematically lose in the long term. It says that if you allocate 100 units to this system, then it will never go negative 100. So throughout your journey, you should not be looking at how much I'm up or down in a sense of I'm up 500 or I'm down 200. You should be looking at your 100 units as a stack, and then from there, you realize that that 100 units is going to go up in the long term. There will be times where your 100 units, for example, if your first session on the horse system, which was today, if that 100 units went to 90 and then it continued on Wednesday and it went to 95 and then whatever, you are still 90, 95 units. You're not -5 or +10 or +5. You are 95 out of 100 and you have the 95 there remaining. That's how you need to look at it. The third thing is there are no starts and no ends. And J2G actually said this here. He said the first Saturday of the rest of your life. In other words, this doesn't end. So when we look at it and it's like, this is the Saturday, and the old mindset of people would be like, "Oh, this is the last tip of the day or the first tip of the day." If you actually look at our results, and I'm going to pause this right. So these are our results, right? As you can see, this started 4.5 years ago. None of you here following right now started here. So you don't have a start and you don't have an end. All you have is your 100 units that you did commence following the horse system with, and that's going to grow over time. So whether your first session was here or here or here or here, this graph is going to go up and to the right at all times. Now, if you zoom the fuck into this graph and you go in here and you let a short-term period of time, I've zoomed in too much, if you let a short-term period of time actually stop you from consistently following, you will delete your ability to profit. If you had started following here at 971 and then you stopped following here at 950, You could have said, oh, I'm down 21 units if you zoomed your magnifying glass in. But then if you kept following, guess what? You're now 1,417 units. And if you looked here and you said, I'm at 1,237, and now I'm whatever, I'm trying to find a negative period if you zoom right in, then guess what? You wouldn't have got the remaining 140 units or whatever it is that comes after this small period of variance. Everything here goes up and to the right. The sports system's the same. If you go in and look at every single tip result, do not focus on a short-term period of time. If you look at your first session, man, that is a total of 21 selections. 21 plays or tips have been sent out. Over the last 4.5 years, we have a total of 9,903 things that have been sent out. Now, you can exclude these rows, let's just say 300. So you're looking at about 9,500 actual plays that have been sent out for the horse system. And you've followed 21. So the more you focus on this, the short term, the more you are going to allow yourself to be potentially put in a position where you are reacting as a result of your emotions of the short term. Yes, I understand that you are trying to reward yourself for the short-term period of time, but that's not what we're talking about here. Like, you do not want to celebrate the first horse system day. You are not celebrating the first horse system day. You're celebrating the result. If you are celebrating, hey, this was a great session, I actually got through this and I learned heaps, fantastic. But what you're doing here is starting to focus on a win. If you had if the horse system had gone negative and you were focusing on the short-term period of time, and then you quit, which you said you would have potentially, or you would have had doubts, then clearly you have the wrong mindset, because we've shown you the data, we've shown you everything, we've shown you it works. There's hundreds of people in here that are trying to help you. I'm glad that you potentially believe that the horse system will work more in the long term now because you've actually seen it, but that's not the right way to go about it. This guy here nailed it. Why would you have doubts if it was to lose? And you clarified. You basically said that what your life has been like, everything that you've invested in has not worked out. And that's kudos for admitting this and kudos for saying this, because honestly, it's fucking sick that you've come in here and said, open my eyes to the possibilities of making more money, or just money in general with minimal risk. For most people, they lose their entire life and they don't actually believe that anything can actually profit. So it's elite. So this is not a rinse. This is just to try and make you understand that the quicker you can delete the short term and the focus on the short term, the better you're going to be in the long term. But if you were to zoom in here and you look at this, and there are people, not as much anymore, but there's the odd person that will come in and say, oh, what a shit day or something. And that's like super rare now, but it used to happen all the time. And this is why we deleted it. And you're coming in here now saying, what a day. And we're telling you the good work on being here, good work on jumping into the horse system. But the quicker you can buy into this agenda, man, of 12 months and delete the short-term focus, I promise you it'll change your life. It'll change your mindset around everything. And I hope for your sake you can stick around here for 12 months. Because like I said in the voice message I just got posted in the channel, if you stay here for 12 months and if you stay here for 24 months and if you put the reps in and you put the work in, life-changing. And that's what we've created, and I hope you can stay here, and everyone else here that wants to be part of that as well, feel free to, because it's awesome to be able to provide this to you. But it's more rewarding when we can scroll into here, and in here and we can see all these people wanting to change their lives, and then we go into here and we can see people that have made fucked amounts of money, all because they stuck here and they did things and they bought into what we told them. So I hope every single one of you watching this can actually do that as well. But reality is you can. You just have to actually do it. So in summary, man, 3 things. 12-month agenda. Try to remove your focus off days, weeks, months, and get it on the actual process. Number 2, 100-unit rule. Your horse system, 100 units, will never ever get to 0. It's not possible. The worst ever period, if you zoom in on the graph, is like negative 30, which is worst ever. And you still would have had 70 units in your bank. And then the third thing is don't think of days, weeks, months as starts or ends. Zoom your timeline out. The minimum timeline that you have is 1 year. And I promise you, different game. Focus on the things that you can control. Anyway, if you have watched this, I'll send an hourglass emoji into here, and I want to see who's been listening. Cheers.